Hello, my name is LoG and welcome to my minor pentatonic flat 5 power-up. Let's get started with part 3. All right, let's do a real quick recap of parts 1 and 2. So if you remember part 1, part 2, and that takes us right here to continue and finish it up with part 3. So part 3 is not as fast. It's pretty much 8th notes instead of the 16th notes like the previous parts. And we are starting on this flat 3, and this section is actually going to feature the flat 5 a little bit more, whereas in the previous sections we were kind of using it as a passing tone between the other notes, but now we're going to be jumping to that note, kind of bringing it out a little bit. So you'll see what I mean when we get to it. So again, flat 3 is what we're starting on. That's our 1, right? This whole thing is A. That's our 1. That's our flat 3. So a flat 3 and then a real quick 1 flat 7. And then I'm sliding up to this 5 right there. Okay, so that's our 1. That's the 5. One more time. Flat 3, 1 flat 7, sliding up to the 5. Now this part's a little different. This is a common lick that you probably play. Sounds something like this. Right, it's a really kind of normal sound, just the 5 flat 7 to 1, but I'm actually playing it slightly differently. Instead of playing the 1 right here, I'm playing the 1 here. So it looks like this. So that fingering 5 flat 7 1 is actually the same as this 5 flat 7 1. We're just replacing the 1. Instead of playing it here, we're playing it right there, and it gives us kind of in my opinion, it gives it a cool sound, and it allows for this next lick to kind of stand out a little bit more. So again, flat 3, real quick 1 flat 7, slide up to 5 flat 7, the 1 up top. Now watch this, 1 flat 7 flat 5. Notice I'm jumping right to the flat 5 right there, and then I walk down flat 5 4 3. So that whole thing, sliding up, flat 7, grab the 1, flat 7, flat 5 right there. It's a cool figure if you like kind of playing bluesy sort of stuff or rocks kind of stuff. It's a cool way to play the flat 5. Right, so 1, flat 7, flat 5. I like that shape. Again, walk up to the 1, flat 7, flat 5, walk down 4, flat 3. Now watch this. From the flat 3, we're going to hit that flat 5 in the same way, in a similar way, I should say. Flat 3 to 1, bam, right down to the flat 5. So instead of going, flat 3, 1 to normal 5, flat 3, 1, 2, flat 5. And then we walk down in the same way that we did up top. Remember up top we did flat 5, 4, flat 3. Now we're doing the same thing down here. Flat 5, 4, flat 3. Right, so let me play that whole thing one more time. Real quick little 1 to flat 7. Slide to 5. Walk down. Flat 5, 4, flat 3. 1, flat 5, 4, flat 3. And to finish it off, little chromatic from the 1 down to the flat 7, and that's the flat 7 that begins the whole passage again. We run it over and over again. So let me play that a couple times without talking. Here we go. One more time. One more time. Okay, so in regards to fingering, let's talk about that real fast. So I'm doing, of course, pointer, ring, pointer, slide it with the ring. You can slide with the pinky too if you want. I kind of like the ring for some reason. Kind of lets me set up the next part a little bit better, but it's up to you. Slide with the ring, middle, pointer, pinky, ring. So pointer, pinky, ring to grab that 1 to flat 7 to 5. Then I'm just walking down, ring finger, middle, pointer. Now watch this. Pointer finger, pinky, right? You might naturally want to do that, pointer ring, but I'm playing pointer pinky because that sets me up to play the flat 5 with my middle finger, and then the 4, and then slide back. So I think that sets me up a little bit better. I mean, I guess that's also comfortable. Pointer, ring, middle. You can definitely set it up with your middle finger if you play your ring finger right there, but for some reason I like the pinky. So you do whatever you want. I'm going to use my pinky. So pointer, pinky, middle, pointer, pointer, and then just 3, 2, 1 to walk it down. So again, that whole thing. Pointer finger, pinky, ring, pinky, middle. That's what I prefer. All right, make sure you can see that. This is a cool figure again. again, this whole idea of using the flat 5 in the previous parts we were using it as a passing, now we're kind of nailing it. I'm kind of jumping to it out of nowhere instead of coming to it naturally from the 5 or the 4, you know, the adjacent notes. Now I'm just like jumping to it. So I'm going 1, flat 7, flat 5, just nailing it out of nowhere. 4, flat 3, same thing here. 1, bam, flat 5. Just from the 1, jumping right to it. So it's a cool sound because now you're kind of featuring that tone rather than just using it as like a little, you know, like some extra spice in your normal line. So you can experiment with that stuff if you like the sound. So anyway, that's pretty much it for part 3. I'll play it one more time slowly. Oh, I completely forgot about the right hand. Let me talk about the right hand real fast. Okay, so I definitely need to talk about the right hand because there's a lot going on. So I would do this. So point downstroke, then just alternate pick, something like that. Little slide to the G string. Now this is, you can do whatever you want, but this is definitely my preferred thing. So once I'm here on the G string, I'm alternate picking down, up, down. When I get to this, I'm doing a downstroke and then 1 upstroke to play the next 2 notes. Some people would call that economy picking or sweep picking. That's kind of what it is. So downstroke for here, and then an upstroke for these next 2 notes. Right? So that's the upstroke, and then I'm continuing the upstroke to play the next note. Okay? And then I think I'm doing that. Downstroke, then pull off from the 4 to the flat 3, then same thing, 2 upstrokes to grab the 1 and the flat 5. Same thing there. 1 upstroke, continuing the upstroke to the flat 5, downstroke, and then slide. Okay? So watch this. You might want to just practice that one part by itself to make sure you're getting that picking configuration. Of course, you can do this however you want. You can alternate pick it too if that's comfortable, or do whatever you feel. But I definitely personally like this. Again, downstroke, up, up. Not 2 upstrokes, that's 1 upstroke. That plows through both strings. You can also try that. Downstroke, then upstroke, upstroke, upstroke. 1 upstroke to handle all 3 of those notes. That's not what I'm doing, but you can try that if you want. What I'm doing again is downstroke, up, up, downstroke, pull off, up, up, downstroke, slide. And then we finish the whole thing. So, all right, so that's the last part. So we're just going to run just this part. It's going to sound like this. Then we hold, do it again. It's going to sound just like that. And this track is going to move from, I believe, 70 to 150. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. Pretty sure it's 70 to 150. And then, of course, in the final video, we will run the entire thing along with the track that moves from a relatively slow tempo to a pretty quick tempo. So let's get to this let's get to this part 3 track. All right, that does it for part 3. Again, if you guys enjoyed this type of instructional material, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below, and I will see you guys in the final part where we will run the entire exercise along with the track. See you then.